What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to go over both NIT games against the spread. I'm going to bring back the whiteboard winners as well here. In about a week's time, when college basketball officially comes to a close, I'll be going over MLB and NBA on almost a daily basis, and I'm going to bring back the whiteboard winners. So I'll be updating that whiteboard in every single video with a pick that I really think has a good chance to win. So look forward to that coming back. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel and drop a like on today's video. It's April. Finally, March is over. Just 10 days ago, just 10 short days ago, maybe it was 11, up, life's good, up over 20 units. March is rocking and rolling. And then we hit what I guess you could say was hell week. Everything went wrong. When we needed a free throw at the end of the game, we didn't get it. When we needed a guy to just go 1 for 2, he hit both. When we needed a 10-unit play on Houston, which was maybe the most free bet of the year after what we saw NC State even do to that Duke team, we have Jamal Shead get injured and we lose a big play and end up with a pretty bad month, the worst month I've had, tied for the worst month I've had since I've started keeping track of this stuff over 3.5 years. So it's good to get that out of the way. We actually did cash on the very last day of March, only one play on Sunday, gave out NC State. It was a 3-unit play, so I put 300 on that. Didn't even need the points with NC State, but hey, I guess we close out the month on a high note. I don't even know. I'm just happy to see a 4 on the date and get into April and have a big month ahead. I looked back in the database. I've never, ever had a month after a losing month have profit of less than 8 units for that particular month. I got 5 plays out today. Most of them are MLB. There's a little bit of college basketball in the mix. If you guys are interested in that, probably a great time to jump on board. I just cannot, I could not get a single bet right to save my life for about 10 days. Big deal. Month after month after month after month prior to that was a lot of winning, and I expect a big bounce back month here in April. And if you join today, if you get a 1-week package, it'll get you the Final Four. I have a 5-unit play coming in the Final Four. Today's Tuesday, so a 1-week package will also get you my pick on the championship game with a lot of MLB and NBA in the mix to clean up the areas where we don't have college basketball to bet on. So let's hop into these games. Of course, the links for all that stuff is in the description, along with my TikTok account. You guys can follow me over there. We cashed our last free play on TikTok. My SoBet link also in the description if you want access to 60 professionals for a little bit of a lower cost. A lot of people on SoBet, man. So many people making money on SoBet. Crazy. I don't know how people are on that. Even if you make your own bets, just to have all those opinions to at least like measure what you were already thinking and just check with all these pros and make sure everything correlates and aligns. That is a lot of value for $9.99 a month. Crazy. So let's go ahead and start with the first game here. We got Utah. We got Indiana State. Now this is almost a home game, right? It's about 90% of the way to being a home court advantage for Indiana State. And that's huge. Let's go over the numbers. I mean, Utah, okay, if we're looking at Utah at home, 16-1, but on the road or neutral, 5-12 straight up, 6-11 against the spread. We're looking at Indiana State, who's 10-10 against the spread on neutral court. So not quite a correlation there, but close to it. But here we go, guys. We got all the money, about 80% of the money, cash and tickets is on Indiana State. I see everybody on social media, everybody here, everybody there, everybody all over the place. Maybe even aliens in the solar system are on Indiana State. Everybody's in love with the story. But I was on Cincy in that game, and Cincy covered. And I think we have the same thing here. This is an Indiana State team that has incredible free throw percentage, an incredible offense, and a couple very, very impressive individual players. But overall, Utah is bigger. They're faster. They're better athletes. They play better competition, in my opinion. And getting this many points is too much. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win the game. I'm not saying this is going to be an outright upset. But you can get +4 right now. You can get Utah +4 on DraftKings right now at a -120 price. Like, not bad at all. You could even buy it up to +5 if you wanted for maybe like -145. I'm going to take the points. It's the same as Cincy. Okay, I don't trust an Indiana State team on a neutral court. And yes, 90% of the people at this game are going to be cheering for Indiana State. They're going to have more energy. There's more buzz. The whole vibe is better. But this is a story. This is the people are falling in love with the story, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go with the better athletes. And honestly, the motivational thing, the motivational edge of how Indiana State's just trying to prove to the committee that they should have been in the tournament and they got snubbed, and who knows if the other team really cares. Okay, that only matters in the first couple rounds. At this point, with only 2 more possible games to be played, Utah wants this game just as bad. That whole edge of, a team that had higher hopes or plays in a bigger power conference and all that crap, that's out the window now. Now it's fair game. Both of these teams want that trophy. They do want this win. And I'm going to go with the better athletes, the bigger team getting points, just like Cincinnati. Do I think Indiana State somehow, some way with those free throws and maybe having a clutch offensive scoring performance at the very, very end of the game, maybe it gets them over the hump and gets them in the win column? Maybe, but I'm taking points. +4 at -120. That's more than fair. It's against the public. I'm not falling in love with this story. Give me Utah +4 in this game. The second game here is Georgia and Seton Hall. This one's very interesting. We got Georgia beating Xavier. Then they beat Wake on the road. Then they beat Ohio State as like a 9.5-point underdog. But here's the thing. And the biggest difference in this game by a landslide is the coaching. Ohio State was on their second coach of the season. And I get it. They picked it up. At the back end of the season, they looked like a whole different team, blah, 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 blah. Say what you want. At the end of the day, I just don't think that guy's a great coach. Wake Forest, not good coaching. Wake Forest completely blew unacceptable games to lose. Wake Forest absolutely should have made the big dance. The talent was there. The coaching was not. Xavier, a little bit better coaching than the other two, in my opinion. But that was a home game for Georgia, and Xavier just didn't have the athletes, and I think they were a team that really just lost steam down the stretch. So we have big upset wins over Wake and Ohio State against bad coaches and against teams that really just played kind of bad basketball overall. Now we're getting a senior led team is what I'm trying to say. I don't know why that was so hard to say. Look, Seton Hall's experienced. They got players. They want this. Okay, now I was not going to be shocked if St. Joe's upset Seton Hall in the first round of the tournament, because Seton Hall, and I agree with what most people agree with, is Seton Hall absolutely should have been in the tournament. They beat UConn this year. They have a pretty good resume. In fact, they actually came in their last 25 games. Seton Hall's 18-7, 18-7 in their last 25. They should have been in the tournament. They're pissed. They might have not cared about that St. Joe's game. It went to overtime. They got the win. But like I said about the first game, at this point, only needing 2 more wins to win this whole championship, even though it is the NIT, I like Seton Hall here. We have the better coach, the better offense, and I think Georgia beating a couple of poorly coached teams in upset fashion on the road is impressive enough to just simply give us a better price on Seton Hall. That's all it's doing. I'm looking at the full body of work throughout the entire season. I'm not going to come on here and just let Georgia all of a sudden impress me and forget that Seton Hall's 18-7 in their last 25 games with a much better coach and much better players, playing in a much better conference against much better competition. This is a team that beat UConn. Now, the price is getting steep. It's up to 4. It would have been much nicer to get in when the spread was only 2.5 or so and maybe take the money line. But now I'm still going to lean Seton Hall, laying the points. I don't care that the game is not a home game. It doesn't matter. I think Georgia's overachieved. Congrats, Georgia. You played some great games down the stretch here. And they've been close, right? They've been squeaking out these wins. They've been close games. Some people say, Georgia's proven that they can win a close game. Okay, I'm going to say they got lucky against poorly coached teams multiple times. I don't believe in Georgia. They were bad all year long, and I'm not going to let a few NIT games change my overall opinion of a team, that over a larger sample size is not good. Seton Hall over a larger sample size is good. Better coaching, better offense, better players, better experience, better conference, better everything. And I think the fact that Georgia has overachieved so much that the line is reasonable. I think if, this line, if we're talking a week and a half ago, would be 8.5. So -4, sign me up. I'll go ahead and lay the points with Seton Hall. I'll take the 4 points with Utah on DraftKings. So 1 underdog, 1 favorite. That's the way I'm looking at the NIT. There are some other ways to use these games and put it with some interesting angles to be in a more profitable position, in my opinion. But hey, I bet those myself. If you guys want to know what those are and the rest of my picks throughout the next week or so, month or so, whatever you want to do, danspicks.net. The link is in the description. I'm coming off the worst month ever, guys. I know it's hard to have faith, and that's fine. And if you want to give me a little time to prove back to you why I do this consistently every single month winning, that's completely fine too. See you guys in the next video.